Kathleen.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Outliers YouTube channel and podcast series and our program, Get to Know. I'm your host, DP Lyle, and I'm here with my partner in crime, Kathleen Antrim.
Thanks, Doug. It's great to be here. And I am Twitter-pated because I'm about to get to interview one of my all-time favorite authors who, if you've not read his work, you have to read every single book. He's amazing. He's an international blockbuster selling, best-selling author all over the globe. He has over 320 million books sold. Jeffrey Archer, welcome to Get to Know. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to have you here.
You're very kind. Thank you very much. It's lovely to be on the show, Kathleen.
Oh, well, thank you. So as Doug knows, and you're about to know, I like to put our authors a little bit on the, he says, I'm putting you on the couch, the psychiatrist's couch. And I want to talk to you about your childhood.
Mm.
Do you feel that your childhood contributed to you becoming a writer? Did you have imaginary friends when you were growing up? Were you telling stories back then? You know, tell us about your childhood and whether or not you think that influenced you.
Well, my mother was a journalist and worked for the local paper. She had her own column. And was a local councillor, head of the arts committee in a small town in England. And I suppose that those two loves were at the breakfast table every morning. And the chatter would have been around her being a journalist, and her chatter would have been around her being on the local council. So those two things might well have been. And my mother she read a book a week. She loved reading. But of course, you must remember in those days, there was no television.
Right.
There was radio. And you have to realize that the book was a big deal, because we now have whatever it is, 200 or 300 channels on television. When Kane and Abel was first made 40 years ago, in Britain, there were only 3 channels, BBC One, BBC Two, and ITV. And I was on BBC. So 17 million people in Britain watched that. Why? Because there weren't another 150 stations for them to choose between.
I know, it's insane, isn't it? It's just absolutely crazy. So tell me a little bit about yourself. When you were growing up, were you athletic? Were you introverted? Did you read a lot?
Well, I won everything at school in the 100 yards and the 220 yards as a schoolboy, and then went on to the England schools and came third. But we were all amateurs. No one was paid. So I went to Oxford and became president of athletics and ran for my country. I could not do that today. When I go to Oxford today to watch the Oxford and Cambridge athletics match, the track and field match, there is no one on either side who will be in the British team. Sometimes you get a weirdo who's come from some country who's outstanding and does get in their national team. But when I was president, 17 of the Oxford team had represented their country, and Cambridge, 21 of the team had represented their country. That's 50 years ago. Now, right. Nobody is representing their country.
Just amazing to me. I mean, how things have changed, and including the many, many channels we have. Do you, I mean, this next book, I can't wait to read it. And I now have my copy, so I'll be digging in probably tonight. Do you feel that this book might also be a television show?
Yes, it's already been purchased. And I think the reason is that I got lucky. I decided the last of the William Warwicks, and this is Endgame is the last of the William Warwicks. I decided that I would go and see Sebastian Coe, an old friend, and get him to tell me what if anything went wrong in the 2012 Olympics.
Mhm.
And he said he didn't know. The man who would know was a Commander Broadhurst, QPM, Queen's Medal, Order of the British Empire, who'd kept his mouth shut for 14 years. But as he was writing a book himself, he decided to tell me what went wrong. And when you read the book, you will be shocked. The games nearly closed on the day of the opening ceremony. It was a disaster that was avoided only by minutes. And no one has written about this. We have kept quiet about it for the last year. Now there's only a week to go, we can say. And what you do when you read the book, you will see that there are 21 incidents in the Olympics.
That actually, they were real.
No, patience, child. 14 of them were real. 2 of them could have stopped the games. 7, totally my imagination. And at the end of the book, you have to decide which was my imagination and which actually happened.
Wow.
I like that. Well,
Do you
tell
think we can
us
maybe
about.
have you back sometime to find out? You can maybe just number them.
It's on the back of the book. You fill in the thing and find out.
Well, tell us about William Warwick. I mean, who is he? How did you create him? And
very interesting. He's a real human being in the sense that my chief advisor is a man called Chief Superintendent Johnny Sutherland, who was head of the murder squad in the Metropolitan Police. And I based him on him. And what I decided with the 8 William Warwicks was that each book would be a separate book in its own right. So it doesn't matter where you start. And they would be a different subject. So when he was a constable, he was dealing with art. When he was a sergeant, he was dealing with fraud. When he was an inspector, he was dealing with murder. When he was a chief inspector, he was dealing with royal protection. So it moves all the way up. And the final one, End Game, he's now a chief superintendent, and he's in charge of security at the Olympic Games, which is how I got hold of these stories. So William is the center of them. He is the Bob Broadhurst. He is the man who actually was in charge of the security at the Olympics.
so he's the guy that can tell all these stories. I like
that.
Yeah,
he's the one.
Yeah. I like that.
Bob I was shocked. I mean, normally when I got the head of the drug squad, I got the head of fraud, I got the head of murder, they'd give me a couple of stories, or they'd give me a little bit of inside information. Bob, it was story after story after story of what happened in that month at the Olympics. And it wasn't all pretty.
Well, I was in the 1984 when the Olympics were in LA, I was a physician for the boxing team. This didn't affect the boxing team, but there were some shenanigans in that Olympics too. We'll talk about it sometime.
I was there. I was there.
Yeah.
I was in the stand watching.
Yep.
In fact, just correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't that when Seb got his first gold? No, perhaps not. But yes, I was at the Los Angeles Olympics. Brilliantly run. Brilliantly run.
Yes.
By I'm trying to remember the name of the man who organized the whole thing. Was quite outstanding.
I think Peter Uberoff was involved. I know that, but
the Atlanta Olympics was the other extreme.
Exactly.
None of us enjoyed it. So we're all looking forward to Los Angeles because we know they'll do a hell of a job.
So fun. Well, I want to ask you a little bit about your writing process. Where did you get the nugget of this idea? And then how do you write? Are you an outliner? Do you just pants it? I mean, tell us a little bit about how you come up with all of this.
Well, the process of writing is 6 to 8 in the morning, break for 2 hours, 10 to 12, break for 2 hours, 2 to 4, break for 2 hours, read what I've done today, 6 to 8. I never know what's on the next page. I never know where I'm going. This morning's 6 to 8 session was, I knew the first 2 sentences and then it took off after the first 2 sentences. I am first and foremost, Kathleen, a storyteller. I keep explaining to people, I'm not an opera singer. I'm not a ballet dancer. I don't play the violin. It's a God-given gift to be able to tell a story. And I think, to quote the great Dadie Ryland, for every 1,000 writers, there's a storyteller.
I think that's absolutely true. And even of the First Among Equals, as was a title of one of your books, there's very few who would equal you as a storyteller, quite frankly. There may be storytellers out there, but you are the consummate storyteller. And it's
Kind of you to say
interesting.
that. The Washington Post professor from Georgetown University said exactly that. But he went further. He said, I was the new Alexandre Dumas, my hero.
Yeah.
And, it was a very great compliment.
Oh, absolutely. And well deserved.
Very great compliment.
Well
So
deserved.
after Endgame and after William evaporates, what's next? What are you going to do next?
I'm going to write my final book, which is the one I'm working on. And I'm praying, because I've been working on it for 6 years, I'm praying it's better than Kane and Abel.
Wow. Now, will it be related to Kane and Abel?
Well, I'll be interested to hear your opinion, Kathleen, when you've read it. Not sitting there with your hand on your chin saying, I'll let you know when I've read it. When I come on the air next time, you will have read it.
And we want you on the air next time.
That's for sure.
So will this be a standalone, or is it related to any of your other work?
Totally stand alone. I came across the idea 6 years ago, reading a speech by Hitler and the speech countering it by Churchill. And I thought, my God, they've all missed what they said in 1936 and set the story up. And I'm telling you no more.
Okay.
Greedy little piglets.
Yes,
Oh,
I
but I
don't
love World War II novels.
So when
as
are when can we expect this? What are we looking at?
A year's time.
Okay, good.
So you've got Endgame now, you've got the Olympics now,
Yeah,
and you'll have the final book in a year's time.
So
it's assuming I'm still alive, because I'm 85 years old.
Well, you don't look 85.
You don't look it, no.
You don't sound 85. I bet you've got another 20 years to go here. So.
Oh, what a frightening thought. Yeah.
So what advice would you give? We have a lot of writers who watch this. What advice would you give new writers or writers who are trying to make it in this industry today?
I get a lot of young people coming to see me. I tell them the one thing they can do that I do is work hard. If you're not willing to work hard, don't bother. I say to young people that if you have a talent plus energy, you're a king. If you have talent, if you have energy and no talent, you're a prince. If you have talent and no energy, you're a pauper. Energy is the vital thing. There's 100 reasons not to write a book, not to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning, not to pick up the pen, not to do the job. But if you want the whole world to read you, you'd better get up pretty early, because I'll be up before you. And the other thing you have to face, and I say it to the young with affection, in the end, it's the public who decide. You may write a very good book. You may not even get the right publisher or the right editor, and things might not go perfectly. But in the end, the public decide. And once a year, sometimes twice a year, they make a book that no one realized would be a hit.
It's so true. And, you know, I know publishers struggle every day trying to figure out what the magic formula is for the public, and no one could nail that down.
And they get it wrong again and again, and they get surprises. So we all know that J.K. Rowling was turned down by everyone.
Right.
My first book, Not a Penny More, Not a Penny Less, was turned down by 14 publishers. I got a $3,000 advance. They sold 3,000 copies, and it went into paperback and went mad. So you can never tell.
Right.
And then Kane and Abel just took off overnight all across the world. I mean, I got up in New York to see the front window Doubledays on Fifth Avenue, there was only one book in there. And I couldn't believe it. The whole window was Kane and Abel. And I thought, wow, I never expected that, this Englishman, for that to happen.
It's so fabulous. And so many writers do try so hard to break into the American market, and you just smashed through that.
Yeah, but it's the people who decide, Kathleen.
Yes.
It's very kind of you to say so. But the truth is, the public decided it. The word of mouth was staggering.
Wow.
And then that's so true. You know, there's so many great books out there that never make it above the waterline. And then there's so many not so good books that do and probably shouldn't. But mainly I feel badly about people who write great books, but they never get seen. And you know, some of it's luck of the draw.
Every year there must be outstanding books that never even get into the bookshop.
Right.
With 1,000 a day arriving on publishers' desks. Must be the case.
Yep.
And you're quite right, it's very cruel. I had a very good agent who got, in the end, pushing and pulling and kicking, got Not a Penny More published. But it was a struggle.
Mm-hmm.
The publishers didn't believe in it.
Don't you think those publishers are probably over the years have been just, you know, thinking about, oh my gosh, what a
grinding their teeth.
big mistake they made.
But they tease me about it now, of course, or I tease them about it.
Good.
But I understand their problem.
Yes.
It's not easy running a publishing house.
No.
You're getting 100 books a day, and they can't read 100 books a day. So your other point, your colleague's other point, maybe things slip by that no one even reads. And that is rough. That's very tough. I had someone who pushed and said, he's got it, go for it. And no, they said he hasn't. And then the 15th publisher published me. And they only sold 3,000 copies.
But then the rest is history.
Yes.
Absolutely. Well, Jeffrey Archer, it's been wonderful to have you on Get to Know.
What do you mean? It's over already?
I know.
What are you doing?
I know. Will you promise to come back?
I will, Kathleen, I will.
Oh my gosh. I will be looking forward to the day. You are just so amazing. Again, I just have to tell our viewers and listeners, if you haven't read a Jeffrey Archer book, the time is now, and you are going to burn through. How many books do you have out now?
40.
So yes, and so you've got your next year, maybe 2 years set for you on reading, because he is just amazing. Thank you again. Really appreciate having you here. I want to ask our viewers to please click the thumbs up. It helps the algorithms, gets these interviews out. And if you like what we're doing here, subscribe. It's free. Just click that little button, and then you won't miss any interviews. And Doug, I'll throw it back to you.
Well, I want everybody to go buy this book. This says William is going away. So buy this book, and then we will wait for the next one, which is going to be even better. So until then, Jeffrey, thank you so much for being here. And absolutely, we want you back next year when this book's getting close to coming out. And yeah, we would love to. So until then, that ends this episode of Get to Know here on the Outliers YouTube channel and podcast series. We thank the great Jeffrey Archer for being here with us. And until next time, as you know, we will be back with more interviews. So keep reading, keep writing, keep having fun, and don't get caught.